Lessons in abundance. It's Brother Polight, and I'm here to build with you to make sure you don't fall for the trap. Again, I always talk to you guys about how from pre-K to 12th grade is 14 years of going to school, and you don't learn about food, clothing, or shelter. Yet, you're supposed to perform at an optimal level as an adult, but you're really not prepared for society, because during those 14 years of going to school, you should have been learning about food, clothing, and shelter. So, they pretty much got our life like we living upside down. The world we living in is upside down. Right is wrong, wrong is right. So let's talk about it. This shit is upside down, huh? Let's talk about it. For far too long. So I'll give you an example. All right. When you go to school, when do they teach you how to fill out a first-time homeowner's application? They never teach you how to fill out a first-time homeowner's application. This is important. You should be learning this in preparation to being an adult, unless the goal is to never have you become a homeowner. See, school should be training you and prepping you for your adulthood. In school, we should have credit classes. Where's the credit classes? How many of you ever went to school and actually had a credit class to learn about credit card redlining or balance transfers? Okay? Credit cards that give you the right to balance transfers. So when you go over your rate, when you go over the percentage that is allotted, you can allocate the funds in excess to another credit card, demonstrate that you can make intelligible decisions as a consumer, and therefore get more points and loan you more credibility so you can have more opportunities. So how many of us went to school and learned about credit utilization, balance transfers? Or what's the percentage of the amount of credit that you shouldn't go over? 36.6%. You should have been taught this in school, so when you get your credit card and they give you $1,000 credit, you would know never owe more than $366.66. You should know not to do that. Never spend more than 36.6%, meaning never spend more than $366.66 of every $1,000 that has been allotted to you by way of credit. You should know what a subprime is, or if you're a subprime lender, okay? You should know what a subprime is. You should know that if your credit score is about 540, that you're in the subprime, and then they're gonna charge you an excess, all things related to your real estate, all things related to your property, they're gonna charge you more. It's gonna cost you more. And property tax, it's gonna cost you more as a homeowner in general, just because your credit isn't that good. And just by us helping you raise your credit score, and knowing which credit score to raise in particular, though we're going to raise them all, that'd be the difference between you saving anywhere between $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 in excess that you don't need to be spending as a homeowner. But in school, did you ever learn how to use a mortgage calculator? No, you never learned how to use a mortgage calculator in school. These are the things I'm talking about. So when I speak with people and I'm charging my $2,000 for the service, and people say, why we got to spend $2,000 for your service? I'm like, because I'm microwaving, credit restoration microwave. I'm microwaving the data that should have been taught to you throughout the course of your 14-year school occupation. So from pre-K to 12th grade, you went to school. You didn't learn about a mortgage hypothecation. You didn't learn about credit card utilization ratios. You didn't learn about subprimes. You didn't learn how to use a mortgage calculator. What the hell was they teaching you in preparation for your adulthood? You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. A lot of time has been wasted. A lot of time has been wasted. And so I'm here helping you play catch up. So yes, the credit restoration costs $2,000. And what we do is advance you based on the data that you haven't been given by design. Because don't make a mistake about it. They didn't give you the information this whole time on purpose, so you wouldn't be able to know how to thrive as an adult. And that's why when you look up the word minority in law, the word minority, we are led to believe minority only means yeah, that's what they doing out here. And he on a motorbike getting it in. Yeah, out here took my children to this upside down building so they could learn some science. You know, I homeschool my children. Yeah. I'm with y'all. So yeah, that was just a word from our sponsors. But yeah, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Go to brotherpolight, brotherpolight45@gmail.com when you're ready to spend your $2,000 for our service. And what we do, we send letters and affidavits to credit bureaus and financial institutions alike for the purposes of removing negative items off your report, adding positive items to your report, boosting your credit scores, then leveraging the results so that you meet the criteria to be approved for monies ranging anywhere between $50,000 to $300,000, okay, that you don't have to pay back. Then we'll also work with you to get approved for loans that you do have to pay back. And then we'll also work with you to get you better credit cards, okay? Better credit cards, meaning credit cards that don't have late fees, foreign exchange fees, annual fees, credit cards that you could turn the credit reporting off at your leisure when it's most advantageous to you. So think about it. Loans you do have to pay back, credit cards with no late fees, so you can use your credit cards for investing, and also monies that you don't have to pay back. The combination of those things surely will take you over $500,000 in equity that you have available to yourself so you can make investments. And that's why I have a mentorship embedded into the psychology of my program, so that way I can prepare you for the monies that will be coming in, so you have a wide range of ideas how you may want to invest the money so you could grow it into a larger amount. And then you'll also have the caseworker who's going to deal with you exclusively and immediately with your credit, so that way you can interface with him and or her assistant to deal with your credit exclusively. So you might have the worst credit in the world. You might think you have great credit. And then when I say, okay, you have great credit, but since your credit's so good, how come you can't get approved to $200,000? That's because there's other credit bureaus you don't even know about. You don't even realize that your bank has a credit score. The bank you use has a credit score system that you don't even know about. So you think the biggest misconception is that when it comes to credit, it only pertains to TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, and FICO. But that's a lie. There's over 30 different credit bureaus and financial institutions. Again, there's over 30 different credit bureaus and financial institutions that have a say on if you get approved, how much you get approved, or we're just going to completely deny you overall. So we got to remove those firewalls. So that's what the $2,000 does. It gives you a mentor, gives you a caseworker. You get the website, you can track your results. You can see the deleted items as we remove them, the positive items as we add them. And then we're also building you up in equity, so you have hundreds of thousands of dollars available to you in equity. And I know that sounds crazy, but with 2 or 3 of the right credit cards, you definitely have access to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Facts. So as crazy as it may sound, it's actually common sense. Let's keep it going. Getting approved of monies you don't have to pay back. People say, well, that's not real. So then the employee retention credit isn't real. You could type it up, employee retention credit, ERC, and you see it's a tax credit. And if you have a business, it allots you $26,000 per employee. Okay. Or the 70/20 application. You go into that and you find out what? If you work for yourself, as an entrepreneur, whether you say you're an Uber or Lyft driver, it doesn't matter. If you're doing a little sheetrock, drywall for people, whether you got pay stubs or not, then you're entitled to over 15 grand. There's several programs, not just grants, forgiveness loans, tax credits by way of IRS, by way of Treasury. These are things they don't teach you in school, where to look, how to look for it, nor how to fill out the application. The people on my team help you fill out these applications so that they don't turn around and tell you after a month of waiting, oh, damn, you left this out. Oh, we're going to need you to give us this. And by the time you do it, the program's over. So there's over 18 different programs that we ferret through to see how you meet the criteria. And if you don't meet the criteria, it might be a matter of you need a higher credit score. We do that. It might be a matter of your address. We do that. It might be a matter of you not having enough employees, no employees, or any business history, or any credit history. What we do, our job, is to get you to the level so you can meet the criteria, so you can be approved for as many opportunities that exist that you don't have to pay the monies back. So that's why I have loan officers as part of my team. That's why I have CPAs and accountants as part of my team. Okay? That's why we have financial advisors. I'm talking about people who went to school who are credentialed, so no one could come back at me and say that I'm doing something illegitimate because I haven't been credentialed in order to pass on certain information. I have the right to share my personal experience, but when it comes to facilitating the tasks that you need at hand at best, those of you who have little tax situations or whatever your issue is, whatever we got to do to make sure you get access to the money, we're going to do that. You know why? Because I'm getting 10% of anything you get on the back end. Any money I help you get that you don't have to pay back, I'm getting 10% of. And guess what my 10% does? It pays all those people that was working for you for free. So every attorney, every accountant, every CPA, every financial advisor, every loan officer that helps push the loan through, or whatever it is that's to your benefit, guess what? They know the proof is in the pudding, so they don't mind waiting because they know everything's going to come to fruition. So by the time you get your monies, when you pay me 10% of the $200,000 you get, when I get the 20 grand, then I know how to partition that or ration it out so I can pay whom it concerns, who you probably personally needed to help. See, so it works like that. And that's how I get to charge you only $2,000 without you having to spend extra money under the table or over the table for people to help you get something done in real time. Because a lot of you don't have loan officers that can work and be available to you at your disposal or that are in your jurisdiction. A lot of you don't know loan officers that's part of a network of loan officers that can help push loans through that otherwise would never get pushed through for you. A lot of you don't have the technical savvy, the business science, nor the business acumen to understand how come this business you've been had, this LLC you've been had, you can't get no loan money for it. That shit is ridiculous. Some of you are blackballed by banks. I'm gonna help you get all of that out the way. Simple shit. We're gonna report and communicate and petition to LexisNexis and check systems to remove that crap that's going on, so you don't have to keep living underground using Western Unions and MoneyGrams and your girlfriend's account and boyfriend's account and all that because you're afraid to put your money in the account because, we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. Because I need you to have 1 installment and 3 revolving accounts in order for you to be considered bankable. I got to get your status on bankable. Bankable means 3 revolving accounts and 1 installment. Revolving accounts mean something like credit cards that got to get paid back, and the APR can fluctuate or it changes. And then we got installments like a boat, a house, a car, fixed rate shit. Okay, so in order for you to be bankable by definition, you need at least 3 revolving accounts and at least 1 installment. If you got this type of stuff on your credit, you're gonna win. And you don't have to necessarily do that stuff in your name. You can do that in your business. But it's crazy that a lot of you have businesses that's been open for years and never got a loan for even $10, let alone 200 grand or 300 grand or 400 grand, because you're going about it the wrong way. And the only thing people know how to say is the word trade line, and you guys are not even using primary trade lines. You're not even using primary trade lines. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to deal with it, how to establish an account manager, or name your company after your name. Because they can't blackball you if you name your company after your name, and then you show up with your ID, you good money. Okay? Because the manager and agent of that particular company It's different, but that's your name of the company. There's levels to this and there's ways to move around. If it's not making sense to you, it's all right. When I'm doing the mentorship, I make it a lot more clear, because sometimes I don't put all the data out there on the internet, and then they make our job harder when they see everybody coming up a certain way. Just walk with me, hold my hand. Let's take a long walk on a short path. But you hit me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Get access to your money. brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name, your phone number when you're ready to spend $2,000 to get access to hundreds of thousands. Invest in yourself. Your stomach didn't turn when you bought those sneakers or that jacket, went to those baby showers, funded Christmas endeavors and Thanksgiving endeavors and Black Friday. All that money you've been spending never was an investment, and your stomach never hurt it. It never hurt. But the second you decide you're going to put money into yourself in anticipation to get more money back, that's when you start feeling guilty. That's when you start growing insecure. That's when you start feeling bothered. True story. Pour back into yourself. Pour back into yourself. It's time for you to make sure you reestablish your glory. And I know you're going to have a bunch of friends and family that's going to want to watch you and see if it works out. And that's okay. But when it works out, I wouldn't advise you take your time out to teach them anything. Make them go through the same thing you went through, studying video after video, doing your own research, okay, to make it happen. Yeah, my children is over here. People asking me where I'm at. Yeah, that's Ripley's, believe it or not. They over there getting their math and science on for homeschool today. Doesn't matter where we travel to in the world, I gotta make sure we still making it happen. You feel me? Gotta make sure I'm still making it happen no matter what. No matter where we are in the world, we gotta make sure we making it happen. Real talk. Yeah, so you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to spend $2,000 to invest in yourself and change your paradigm, your financial paradigm. Be the one that could take off or dissipate or get rid of or eradicate the generational curses that we know as poverty or working a 9 to 5. And there's nothing wrong with being a hard worker, but there's something wrong with being a hard worker for most of your damn life. This human experience isn't predicated upon building someone else's dreams for your whole life. Yeah, we exist as a network and in a network. So granted, we all can empower each other during intervals, different intervals in our life, but surely we wasn't supposed to be on the same page, on the same stage, on the same phase for the rest of our life. Come on, you work a 9 to 5, that's 8 hours. You go to work, it's about an hour. You come back from work, it's about an hour. That's 10 hours. Going to work, coming back from work, and working 9 to 5. That's 10 hours. Then going to sleep on an average of 6, that's 16 hours. That means 2/3 of your life, if not more. For those of you doing overtime, 2/3 of your life is all about funding and contributing to the vision of other people. We wasn't put on this planet to be like that. And it's so hard to communicate this to people for whatever reason, but we wasn't really put on this planet to sit here and serve others for predominantly less than 1/3 of time left over to ourselves. Over 2/3 of our time is being consumed by working. And again, there's nothing wrong with working. Working for yourself is a great thing. Working for other people is also a very noble thing to do from time to time. But I mean, goddamn, what's the glory in selling fucking swine over the counter, or just being a security guard, or, a home health attendant? We need these services. We need people here. But the younger generation we should be ushering in the younger generation to build up their wealth. They can start off with those jobs. But as we get older, we supposed to, the desire to do that type of shit for money and do those kind of things for a living, it should be long gone. You do what you got to do. I never knock a person who's doing what they got to do. But the right information will change your life. The right amount of assistance would change your life. So again, a 9 to 5 is 8 hours. Going to work is 1 hour. Coming back from work is another hour. That's 10 hours. Then going to sleep, an average of 6 hours, that's 16 hours. 2/3 of your life. being dedicated into building someone else's esteem, building someone else's motivation, building someone else's vision. Come on now. I don't even feel you should work that hard for yourself. And when I say that, I mean putting in those type of hours. So shit, even if you're working for yourself and it's a step up, but goddamn it, 2/3 of your life, then what you gonna do with the other 1/3 that's left? What you gonna do with the other 1/3 that's left? Let's think about it. With the other 1/3 that's left, you're supposed to be able to read, study, meditate, pray, travel, socialize with your significant other, your friends, your family, clean, cook. Come on, a lot of you, and that 1/3 that's left after you go to work 9 to 5, 8 hours, travel to work 1 hour, travel back home from work, and then go to sleep for 6 hours. But that 1/3 that's left, in that 1/3, you're gonna want more sleep. In that 1/3, you're gonna sacrifice something because you can't compartmentalize all those things and be satisfied. So you're probably gonna get rid of contemplation, introspection, meditation, most of your prayer if you pray at all, vacationing. You're gonna get rid of most of that. You're only gonna have a little time. You're not even gonna have enough time for your children or to be able to build a quality relationship to really get to know who the hell you sleeping with. Because the both of you ain't got no damn time for each other. Yeah, the CRM works with non-US citizens, it's true. Real talk. So we don't have enough time for ourselves. And because we don't have enough time for ourselves, that's why our pineal gland is being calcified. We become materially dense and engrossed in thought. Because everything we do is just to try to salvage or maintain the little material possessions that we got. So we're losing the true value and substance of existence. And one of the main things about life that's powerful is the unnecessary. And the whole reason that we want to make this money, whole reason you want to make a so-called living is for the unnecessary. We want an unnecessary car. We want some unnecessary shoes. We want to take our family to unnecessary restaurants. Hey, you know what? This experience is unnecessary. Taking my children here. I don't got to take my children to this more expensive approach towards homeschooling. I could grassroot it and read out a book and get the abacus and show them how to do the math. And yeah, but we do what we do for the unnecessary. You want to be in a nice home, right? The nice home is unnecessary. And there's nothing wrong with that. So first of all, we got to come to terms with the fact that we do what we do for the unnecessary. That's the first confirmation. Everything that we're doing it for the unnecessary. Real talk. We do it for the unnecessary nice house. Because we could just be in a cheaper one, a broke down one. Stay in the goddamn hood. Why we got to live like that when people living worse? We got to keep it real. For the unnecessary shoes and for the unnecessary cars and for the unnecessary homes, the unnecessary restaurants, the unnecessary trips to the movie theater. It's okay. Because once we're done with this, once my children done with this right here, then I'm going over there to do some more unnecessary stuff with them. The indoor skydiving. And I'm going to post it when I'm done. So, because what makes this life so fire is when you do the unnecessary. These guys off the hook. UPS, mailbox, upside down. We do all of this for the unnecessary. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Come to terms and come to grips with the fact that everything we do is for the unnecessary. Because everything we do, we could turn it down a notch. But the science is, do you have the discipline? Do you have the discipline to live below your means? Do you have the discipline to live below your means? See? You do the necessary so you could live the unnecessary. You don't need to have as much as sex. I mean, sex is just really for procreation, technically. So every bit of sex you have is unnecessary. And in the mood that you're looking to establish before the unnecessary sex is a bunch of unnecessary dinners and movie dates and unnecessary shopping. You don't necessarily have to cut your hair or groom your nails as much or put colors and paint on them. But we do it and there's nothing wrong with it. So don't let people make you feel guilty for doing the unnecessary, because we all are working hard so we can do the unnecessary things that gives life more meaning. Real talk. The second I realized that this is mostly about the unnecessary, I was able to reestablish a new relationship with money. And once we reestablish it, because people are mad at money and upset with money. Like, you know, I tell people I love money and it sounds so sacrilegious, but it's okay for people to say they love perfume. And it's okay for people to say they love that car. Oh my gosh, I love that house. I love that movie. I love that actress. Oh man, I love those shoes, girl. People say shit like this all the time, but the second you say you love money, everyone goes, he sound like the devil. But you do know all those other things that people are allowed to love come by way of money. So I just like to go straight to the source. I cut to the chase. I love money. But I care about people. Now, I never heard people say, I care about this sweater. I care about that car. Oh, girl, I care about those shoes. I care about that house. I don't hear people say that. So maybe the word we should be focusing on is care when we're talking about other human beings. When we want to get more personal, when we want to get more intimate, maybe the word we're looking for is care. And maybe love has been misappropriated or misunderstood, because we could attribute our love for a thing just as we could attribute our love for a person, just as we can attribute our love for a place. So that love can be attached to any noun, but it certainly sounds weird when we start attaching care to places and things. They hating. I made 30K with Polight. Thank you, Big Boy Clothing _Dre. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. You must be out your mind. You say I'm ducking smoke with Sanchez. You sound crazy. That brother, he begged for the debate to stop before we could really cover ground. I mean, what video are you watching? And I had to respect the platform because, you know, I was a visitor catching a vibe. Shout out to the brother. Don't want to talk negative about him, but let's not tell lies here now. I'm with the smoke. Ain't none of these cats fuck with me when it comes to debating. Y'all better knock it out and knock it off. You feel me? But yeah, go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to spend your $2,000 and change your financial paradigm. When you're ready to change your life, turn things around, take it to another level. Yeah, you already know. I ain't slick. I was on that Clubhouse thing with King Los the other day, cooking the religious world, man. We getting to it. But yeah, I'm about to go catch this vibe with the children. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Again, leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready. 2K for Polight's knowledge was a no-brainer. No doubt. Because again, you're getting the mentorship, which is the most important. Because the most significant thing that we do for you guys, aside from our mentorship, is add positive items to your report. We be on the defense too much. It's not so much that we need to remove negative items. Oh, I got a debt here and I got a debt there. That's okay. We could remove some negative items. That's okay. But the main thing you need, even if we kept the negative items there, if you had enough credit history, things would change. If you had the right amount of credit history, things would change. If you had the right type of positive items or data that attest to your ability to have your ability to make intelligible decisions as a consumer, or something that attests to your experience as a consumer, the floodgates will open up. But that's why we got to learn about them other 30 different credit bureaus and financial institutions that have a say on your financial future, as well as impede on your ability to get access to funding that should otherwise be easy. Especially if you never had in your possession to mess up $200,000-$300,000, and why is it so hard to get access to it? And that question in itself puts us in a conundrum, because a lot of people are saying that money sounds so big. What kind of crazy question is that? And I'll say it again. If you never had $300,000 to mess up, if you never had $500,000 to mess up, then why don't you have the credibility to get it in the first place? That sounds crazy. People are like, because it's $500,000. No. It's because you don't control your own narrative. And you don't associate or know the type of people that can empower you with the information to get access to those funds in a few months, where you don't have to look back again. You never used your credit before. Can I still apply for your program? Or yes, you could apply for it. Our whole thing is about coaching. Our whole thing is about teaching. Doesn't matter what level you on. You can have so-called good credit. I see it all the time. I got good credit. Okay, so you don't need us if you got good credit. Go ahead and get your $200,000 loan, $300,000 loan that you don't got to pay back. Go ahead and get the credit cards. Get you a black card. Yeah, because your credit good. Oh, it's not that good. So why you think you got good credit? Oh, the number? Man, you know what that number means? And then when people be like, my credit score 750, I'd be like, which score? Because it's over 30. And each one of them means something. TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, it all alludes to automobiles or real estate or just the time that it takes you to pay. And there's more to credit than just paying on time. Automobiles and real estate, though, those things are significant as well. Talk to me nice. But yeah, I got to get back with the family. I just want to catch a little quick vibe. Got to make time for the good brothers and sisters out there for enlightenment purposes. If nothing else, take heed to the information and start making adjustments within the confines of your own house. You want to take it a step further? When you're ready to spend your $2,000, email me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your phone number. Yes, Jan. You can expedite. Yes, Jan. Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready. Don't email us without leaving your phone number. Don't email us if you're not ready. Very simple instructions. When you're ready to make it happen, when you're ready to change your life, we'll touch base with you. We'll make it happen for you. I got people on deck right now if you're ready. But as for me, time to catch a vibe over here with the family and make it work. Time to make it work. Going back into daddy mode, y'all. Peace. Blessings and abundance.